Hello future millionaires and welcome back to my channel. I am Kayla.K.Keane and in this video I'll be discussing the hidden costs associated with purchasing a property in Jamaica. I did a video some time ago that was entitled How to Buy a House in Jamaica, where I interviewed Realtor associate Janelle Crawford. During the interview, I asked her about some of the hidden costs associated with purchasing a property. However, there are some costs that were left out, resulting in persons asking me a lot of questions under that video. That video has about 19,000 views, so if you have not watched it, I'm going to link it here. You definitely need to watch it. So remember guys to like the video, share it with a friend, and keep watching. Welcome back future millionaires, and thank you so much for staying. For those of you who did not watch the interview that I'm talking about, I'm just going to insert a clip so that we can all be up to speed. What are some of the hidden costs associated with purchasing a house?
So there are a few unknown costs. I don't like to say hidden because that make it sound kind of, shady. But that's why I always advise in Jamaica it's not mandatory that you get a lawyer, but I always advise that you do because more than likely the seller is going to have a lawyer and you're going to want to know all that is involved and you don't get blindsided.
Alright future millionaires, so now that you have watched that video, you have a better understanding of why we are discussing what we're going to discuss now. So if you want to watch the full video though, I'll link it in my description box, and remember to like the video because it helps with my YouTube analytics and it helps to inform what videos I do next. So when you like the video, you tell me what type of content you want to see, and of course I do it based on what you want to see, so like the video. Buying a house is probably the biggest decision that you'll ever make in this life. However, when you're buying a house, especially for the first time, it can be very nerve-wracking as you might not know exactly what you need to do, and especially if you don't have anyone to inform you and guide you along the process, safe in the case of those persons who are not using a realtor. However, I have addressed all of that in the first video, so now let us talk about the hidden costs associated with buying a house here in Jamaica. In places like the US, these costs do not apply. I did a video also on how to buy a house in the US. I link it right here, but it's different. So this video is just for purchasing a house here in Jamaica. Okay future millionaires, so I'm going to look at 7 hidden costs associated with purchasing a property, starting first with stamp duty, of course. So stamp duty has a flat rate of 5,000 Jamaican dollars and is borne equally by the vendor and the purchaser. So you will pay $2,500 as a part of your stamp duty. So that's the first hidden cost. Not so expensive, right? But let's move on to number 2. The second hidden cost associated with purchasing a property is registration fee. Registration fee is usually 0.5% of the cost of the property. So it is borne equally again by the vendor and the person purchasing the property. So you will pay 0.25% of the cost of the property. So let me give you an example, because I'm sure some of you might not be so good at math and it might be hard for you to picture what this amount of money would look like. So if you are going to purchase a house that costs about $14 million, you would have to pay approximately 35,000 Jamaican dollars as your registration fee, and the vendor will also have to pay that amount. The third hidden cost associated with purchasing a property is the attorney fee for the purpose of preparing the sale agreement. This cost is not definite across the board. It's something that is determined by your attorney. For example, if you have a more seasoned attorney, you might, or a more popular attorney, you might pay more. And if you have a not so seasoned attorney, you might pay less. Additionally, try to build a relationship with your lawyer from now so that when you are ready to purchase a property, you can negotiate those fees. The fourth hidden cost is miscellaneous, and it has to do with writing letters. Fifth hidden cost is your attorney fee to conduct the sale. This is one of the most expensive miscellaneous fees that there is, or hidden costs. So you should at least save between 3 to 5% of the cost of the property. So if you're buying a property for 14 million, as we had discussed earlier, you'd be looking to pay somewhere close to
500,000 Jamaican dollars, just a little bit over or under that.
So ensure that you are saving up extra money, not just money for purchasing the property. The sixth hidden cost is your valuation report. So just as when you are buying a car, you need to value the car to see if you're paying the correct price for the car. You'll also need to do this when you're purchasing a house. It is definitely mandatory, so it's not something that you can decide not to do, as your bank is going to require this information. The cost for this is determined by the appraiser, but it's usually around, let's say, 100,000 Jamaican dollars. Think of that as a ballpark figure that you need to have on hand to pay when you're purchasing your house. The cost for the valuation report is borne solely by the purchaser. So this cost will not be split, similar to some of the others I have discussed before. And seventh and finally, we have your Surveyor ID report. This cost is also borne solely by the purchaser and is required by your financial institution also, so there's no getting out of doing it. And the cost is determined by the appraiser, so I cannot give you a figure, but I would say again that a ballpark figure would be about 100,000. However, remember that survey has to do with the size of the property. So obviously, the bigger the property is, the more you'll have to pay. And surveyors vary in their prices, so you would have to shop around to get the best price. Those are the hidden costs associated with purchasing a property. I hope that this video was helpful in assisting you to achieve your goal of home ownership. Additionally, future millionaires, remember that I have a new posting schedule. So I post my videos on Fridays at 3 p.m. and I stream at 6 p.m. on a Sunday. I have a job and sometimes I'm required to work on Sundays. So if I don't stream on a Sunday, I'll post a video at 6 p.m. So either way, I'll be on here on Fridays at 3 p.m. and on Sundays at 6 p.m. As I always tell you, future millionaire, until next time, stay financially literate and come talk to me in the comment section. Remember, there's no other YouTuber that answers your questions quicker than I do. Thank you all for your support, and until next week, stay financially literate.